What up? It's your boy, Nick Incredible Man. Yes, I'm back at it again. And I just seen Fire Force episode 13, and this is my discussion / review. It was absolutely wonderful, man. I loved every single minute. And I want more of the evangelists because this episode showed some cool evangelists, and I want more of them. I mean, I don't want them to win, of course, but I want to see more of them on screen and see what their powers are and see what's going on with them and understand a little bit more about Soul and why they're so obsessed with having everyone take over on that. And I just want to know more about the evangelists. I really do. They're intriguing me, especially from this episode, everything that they've really done. But before I talk about the episode, we got to give a huge shout out and credit to The Smoke. The Smoke showed up this episode. The Smoke looked absolutely fantastic. Everything about the episode was great, but I gotta give a huge credit to The Smoke, man. The Smoke looked so real, the way that it was moving, how dense and dark it was. It looked like real smoke. It didn't even feel like it was on camera or anything. It looked like I was watching real smoke move and do everything that it does. So huge shout out to Fire Force for doing that, because that absolutely was one of the most wonderful parts of the episode that we started off with. So we picked up right after last week's episode with Conroe's flashback. And we dive in and we see Benimaru waking up after Conroe threw him into one of the houses to try to keep him safe from the Infernal. And we jump to and we come and Benimaru finds Conroe, and he's tired. He's beat up and he's crystallizing from overusing his pyrokinesis. And they're going back and forth and arguing about who's going to take over control and leadership. And Conroe says, "It's you, Benimaru. You're going to do it, and that's why I saved you." And everything. So we understand how Benimaru became the captain, and why he took over the 7th Squad, and how they were going to take over before they were even the 7th company of the Fire Force. So then in comes the 4th company's captain, the old guy, Higuro or something like that. And he comes in and he tells them that they want them to be incorporated into the Fire Force, and they're going to be Company 7, and Benimaru is going to be the captain and everything. And he wanted Conroe to be the captain, but we know that Benimaru is the captain because Conroe has the whole crystallization thing going on. And Conroe was like, "Well, we'll get back to you, so I'm not really sure what we'll do, but I'll get back with you." And then that ends the whole flashback. Then we jump back and we see him talking to Shinra and everyone else, and everyone else is looking pretty traumatized from listening to the story and finding out that, he's crystallizing. Eventually he's going to die. So then Shinra tells him that, you shouldn't sacrifice yourself like that. I want to be a hero after everything that happened with my family. I want to save people. And Conroe looks at him and is like, "Well, until you find something that's super important to you, I'll leave that with you." So that was a nice thing. Then we get into everything. So we have Benimaru out trying to find the source of why the 8th Company so-called had imitation people saying that they weren't them, and how they were talking and saying that they weren't the 8th Company. So he went out to find out, and comes to find out that there's more people imitating people running around spreading rumors and deceit amongst the people of the 7th their little city or whatever. So he was like, "Well, there can't be this many cases of mistaken identity." And then that dawned on him, and he was like, "Well, the same thing happened with me earlier, and now it's happening everywhere." So then we have Conroe going out to find Benimaru and find out what's going on. And the 8th Company, they kind of wanted to tag along and see if they could help in any kind of way. So they go out, they find out, and then they bump into the twins. And the twins are arguing and going back and forth and saying, "You're not my sister," and "You're not my sister," and they're going back and forth, which was funny. And this whole time, like, everybody was looking surprised and shocked, and I was like, okay, well, honestly, you really can't tell. I mean, they're twins, so it's hard to tell which is the fake one and which is the real one. I mean, of course, the sister knew, but also, man, huge shout out to this, and I want to know how Arthur knew. Arthur knew that one of the people wasn't the original twin sister, and he took this dude and threw him and punched him and beat him up and threw him against the wall. It was absolutely fantastic, man. And everyone was looking at him and then attacking Arthur, like, "What are you doing? Why are you beating up on little kids?" And he was like, "That's not a little kid. That's an old man dressed up as a little girl." And then they looked, and like his face wasn't demorphing or anything, and they were like, "You liar, you stupid, you liar." So come to find out, that Arthur told the truth. It was a little man dressed up as one of the twins. So what I'm understanding now is that then they show us, I was wondering how they were doing it. So then they show us that one of the evangelist people can use his pyrokinesis to manipulate people's face with the blood and everything and make them look like someone else. And so that's how they were doing that and sowing seeds of deceit in the whole village. That's how, in the whole city. That's how they were doing that, which is nice. That's why I was so intrigued and I want to know more about the evangelist because of moments like this. So then we also see that this dude just automatically kills one of their followers, and then the archer chick tells him that we don't have an unlimited amount of followers, so quit killing the ones that we have. And then they had to set up this whole plan while this was happening. This was their whole plan, was to cause confusion and then start turning people into infernos with the bugs. And in that moment, after we see all the one dude start turning people, they did. They started setting off infernos everywhere. And Benimaru was trying to reach a solution to everything that was going on. And now he has to deal with infernos. And this was nice. I didn't even know this. That the Eighth Company can't really free people because, you know, they're in Benimaru's place, and they can't really free people the way of the Empire because they don't want that. They want to be freed the way that Benimaru frees the people in his city. And also that Tamaki is in training to be a sister. I didn't even know that. I mean, I may have missed something, or I may have skipped something, or in the manga it kind of explained that, because I don't remember seeing any hints of that in the anime showing that Tamaki wanted to be a sister, and they don't have the original sister there with them, so they can't really put anyone to rest because they don't have the sister. But I didn't know Tamaki wanted to be a sister. That's news to me. If you guys knew, like your manga readers, and you knew and they explained it in the manga, because I don't remember seeing it in the anime, comment down below and let me know, because I'm super intrigued by that now. So, and they even showed her even saying some of the prayer in this episode when they had to free the guy that was imitating one of the twin sisters, because Conroy went to interrogate him and he turned himself into an inferno with one of the bugs. These people are crazy. So the lieutenant came and started to kill him, and at that time Tamaki, Captain Obi, and Maki started to recite the prayer. But I didn't know Tamaki wanted to be a sister. That was crazy. Let's be real, she gets beat up a lot, so I mean, maybe following the sister track may be her only solution. So then we come in contact, and Obi's telling Conroy that we want to help, but like we don't know what's going on, and we kind of gotta understand everything. So Conroy goes up and tries to find Benimaru, but at this time Shinra decides to go find the archer because they are being attacked. And at this time she attacks Maki, and Maki is almost killed, but she converts it to the little fire puffball thing, which was nice because I didn't want Maki to get hurt. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of stuff happened this episode, man. So then we have Shinra and Arthur chasing down the lead of the evangelist, because Tamaki and Shinra knew exactly what it was, because remember, they was there with Reika when they shot him with the arrows. So we have Shinra and Arthur chasing these people down, and Shinra was on it, man, and Arthur was like, well, don't be pointing out, I mean, don't be shouting out west and east and stuff. I don't know where you're going. Just point and tell me what it got. And he was like, you don't have to sound so confident about being dumb. So I love their whole, I told you guys, I love their camaraderie. But seeing that, and then they find it, and like, I love how they were saying, and this is a huge credit to Shinra, because dude is like boss level status, because, sorry about the train, guys. They show like a layout of the city, and like where the arrows came from each time of the trajectory, and Shinra was doing it in his mind and figuring out where everything went. Dude, that is boss, man, and I love that. So then they finally find the arrows, and him and Arthur come up on it, and they get into a fight. And then we have the evangelist, the guy with the little miniature knife sword thing, and the chick that does the archery with the arrows. So they're going into a full-blown fight, and it was absolutely fantastic. The chick thought she was boss, but Arthur came through with his sword and was just slicing them like, you can't, no, get away, back up. So he was slicing it every time. She thought she had him, but every time she thought she had him, she couldn't get him. Every time Arthur would slice it and dismantle her arrow. And when she mentioned that, she was like, that's a strong-willed flame. So I love that fact. Then we have these two evangelist people working in tandem to fight Arthur and Shinra, and they try their hardest to work together, and it is not working. So I love the whole time they spent their whole time fighting. Trying to fight together. They were trying to work together to try to take down these people, but they just kept clashing until right there at the end, they finally got together and they teamed up and like they were working like in tandem, and they were putting the moves on these people, man, so much that the guy with the swords told Archer to back up and retreat because they were going to lose and going to get captured because Arthur actually had her. He had his sword at her and ready to kill her. Well, maybe not kill her, but like telling her to give up. And then this dude turns himself into an infernal, but not like the normal way. He didn't let the bug just like inject through his skin or anything. He ate the bug. So I'm thinking, plus that with his original strength, I'm thinking dude's gonna be super strong, and I'm super excited to see it next week. But also, then it ends with us seeing Conroe looking for Benimaru, and Benimaru ending someone's life, was setting them free because they were turned into an infernal, and then he calls his little wooden flying stick thing, and that's how it ended. It says to be continued. Dude, this episode was so fantastic, and that's how they end. I was so mad. They pulled the Kimetsu no Yaiba on that ending, man. They just like, oh yeah, this is good, this is happening, it's beast, and then poof, end. So it was a wonderful episode, and episodes like this is what keep me intrigued with Fire Force, man. And plus the story is so well together, man, because now I'm super intrigued about the evangelists and they're running around killing people. I want to know more about these people. But that's all that happened in this episode, man. This is your boy Dick Incredible. Don't forget to smash that like button till you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them. And subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. And remember that anime matters, anime is greatness, and anime is life, man. Peace out.